August 1st, 2024, the special call meeting for budget approval. Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I make a motion we adopt the agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved and properly second. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. I had a new agenda, y'all, and I promise y'all, I have lost it. So anyway, I had a new one. Anyway, here it is. Okay. There's the attachment. Brian, that's your, make sure that we have the attachment.
Yep, we got
Okay.
the attachment.
So you good with it? Everybody good with the attachment of the notice of the special call? It was done in, I'm sure, in proper time and all of that.
And it's going to be attached to the minutes.
You need to make a motion to that effect.
Their motion.
Make a motion to
To
attach
second.
the,
Moved and properly second that we attach the notice of special call. Are there any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. B1, proposed budget for FY24.
Have any questions, Mr. Sturgis?
Yes, ma'am. Ms. Hughes?
Good evening.
Good
good evening.
The superintendent of the Vicksburg Warren School District and the Office of Financial Services would like to present to you tonight the 24-25 school year budget for the Vicksburg Warren School District. We would like to say that, or we're proud to say, that we have a balanced budget for this fiscal year. If you notice, for our general revenue for 24-25, we have anticipated $81,245,658, of which general expenditures are $76,103,999. We also have budgeted for transfers that we will need to make for COPS grant, for the QZAP loan that we currently have, also for district sped, athletics, CTE or Vocational Fund 2711, as well as for our at-risk services. And those transfers total $5,141,659. We are anticipating that we will have a fund balance at the end of 25 of $31,347,519. For our special revenue funds, we have budgeted, and our special revenue funds include those federal funds that we receive for child nutrition, IDEA, Title I, ARP ESSER, ESSER 2, CTE, as well as MDE SIP grant. So it is inclusive of all of our federal grants. We have budgeted $33,590,256 for revenue. We anticipate $31,834,438 in expenditures. The other financing uses are anticipated indirect cost that we would receive from ARP ESSER, IDEA, and other grants that are eligible to give the district indirect cost. Of that 1.7 million, 1.6 million of those dollars are linked to ARP ESSER. We are anticipated to get 1.6 million in indirect costs from ARP ESSER. That's provided that we are eligible to get those. Sometimes construction costs are not included in indirect cost, but right now that's where that indirect cost stands at 1.6 million. For capital projects, we have $4,225,191 budgeted. Our capital projects include Vicksburg Warren School District Auditorium refresh, RCEC renovation, as well as the multipurpose room that is scheduled for Redwood School. So currently, the expenditures are also balanced at $4,225,191. For our debt service includes all of our general obligation bonds, as well as our COPS grant, as well as the QZAB and QSC bonds. So our revenue for our debt service, $9,562,147. Our expenditures, of course, would go to pay those debts, $9,562,147. And then for our trust fund, which is Fund 7211, we have budgeted revenue of $125,000, and expenditures of the same, which leaves the fund balance at $4,456,734. All total revenue for 24-25, we anticipate $128,748,253, of which we have $1,121,850,776. And then the other financing uses is a cumulative total of $6,897,476. At the end of 24-25, we will have approximately fund balance across all funds, $53,934,884. Any questions? Any questions?
Yeah, so on your special revenue, where you're showing that we're going to have a fund balance of $5 million, is that for future expenses we haven't incurred yet, or is that just, we have to spend some of that within a certain period of time, or?
The bulk of that is for child nutrition,
Oh, okay.
which is not required. They are required to maintain at least 3 months of an operating fund balance. And so currently their fund balance is at $3,793,172. Also included in those fund balances would be, we have fund number 2410, which is EEF Building and Buses, which also is a balance that is held for our general obligation debt. So we cannot spend that balance at this point because we're holding it in case anything were to ever happen. So we have it obligated at the state level. And then also we have in that fund, hang on one second. We also have in there unemployment reserve and our forestry escrow accounts, which all lend to that balance of $5 million.
So on our debt service, this is from our bond, correct?
So on the debt service is, I'll go to those. Yes, the debt service are for the general obligation bonds 2018, which is $1,147,650, which is due in 24-25. General obligation bond 2018A, which is $1,061,549, which is also due in 24-25. We have general obligation bond 2019, which is $1,336,000. And we also have general obligation bond 2019A, $1,541,883. We also have included in that $9 million, we have two numbers that are not, well, three numbers that are not general obligation bonds. Fund 4093, which is QZAB Series 2015, it is $564,302. We also have COPS, which is for the renovations at Warren Central High School, which is $2,452,000. We also have QSC bond, which is from 2010, $187,500. And then we have the limited tax note, which is from 2019, $1,195,850. Also included in that debt service is a loan that the district received in 2023, which is the Ed Facility revolving loan, and that was for the paving projects that are now underway. We have a debt to pay each year for the next 10 years of $75,000.
Okay. So you're showing our fund balance as we're starting the year is going to be 31, general fund balance is 31 million. We're estimating to have that same fund balance at the end of the year based on this budget.
Okay, that cumulative fund balance, I guess, is the question on that 31 million.
Yes.
All the special funds, and not just 1120. So we're talking about all of our district funds, that includes 16 section, that are rolling into that number, which makes it 31 million. So you have all the school activity funds,
Okay.
as well as the 16th section funds, as well as at-risk, that roll into that number to make that 31 million.
Okay. And that could improve pending that if for some reason there are any savings or we don't spend as much as we say we're going to spend during the year, that number could grow.
That number could grow, especially for 1120.
Okay.
So keep in mind that that general number does include all 16 section dollars, as well as all funds that are on hold or at the bank for school activity funds, and all of the funds that fall into the general.
Okay.
Ms. Hughes, on the, oh, I'm sorry, are you through, Mr. Pratt?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I think I have, this one here is it says government fund type, TIPES, and it's proprietary fund types and fiduciary fund type. I got mine out the board package. This was B1 under the proposed budget. You know which one I'm talking about?
Yes, I have it.
Okay. Just a little housekeeping and I'm done, I promise you. Please, if you look at your fund balance for July 1, 2024, and fund balance June 30th, 2025, if this is to go out, please, I ask that you kind of fix your rounding area right there. One says 870, one says 869, and those two cannot balance, be 321 or 884 and 885. I'm just using the last digits if anybody wants to know. One of them is going to be $1 more. So
We will.
please, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And it's just that's just a typo or something like that.
Some of those do have sense. Some of those behind do have sense.
Okay. Yeah, just the right, if we were to put this out, somebody would look at that and say I can't count, and I understand, I really can't count. That's all I have. Anybody else have anything? Nobody else? Okay. What is the pleasure?
I make a motion that we approve the presented budget for, correct me if I'm wrong, $128,748,253.
There's a motion and a second, and please note that Ms. Dotson left the room and did not vote. Any other questions? Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye. Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. B2, make sure I get the right one here. Resolution, is that the resolution
Yes,
for
sir.
B2?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Ad
I've lost the agenda again. B2, resolution for requesting ad valorem for 24-25.
That's correct. So we will present to the Warren County Board of Supervisors, if approved by the board tonight, a resolution requesting $36,325,000 in ad valorem. As mentioned in the public hearing, we did have some conversations with an external consultant to try and make sure that these numbers were solid. And when we looked at those numbers, the district was eligible for almost 38 million. However, that 38 million would have put us over the 55 cap. So we are going to request the 36,325,000 along with the general obligation bonds, which total about 6,047,000 for FY 24 and 25.
So with that, we'll still be at our 55.
That is correct. 38 million approximately would have put us over 55. So we had to fall back to 36 million, and that includes, the 36 million includes 585,000 for homestead exemption.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Are you ready to vote? I mean, is there a motion? Is there a motion?
For the resolution,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion, we approve the Avalor request for 2024-25.
Moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. And we're under C1, the contracts for VHS, RCEC, and auditoriums at both Warren Central and Vicksburg, and Redwood, is that correct?
No, RCDC, the auditoriums are Vicksburg High, Vicksburg Junior, Warren Central High School.
Okay,
And then RCEC is the renovation.
okay. You have that in your packet. Are there any questions?
Mr. President, if I may, did he didn't get those back to me, did he get them?
Yeah,
to you?
it says pending your final
Okay,
approval
all right.
in that request. That way
Yeah.
we can go ahead and get the project started once you approve it, and you all give me authority to sign off on it. Yes, sir.
The balance is in the auditorium at Vicksburg High. Are we gonna have that?
It will include, that auditorium fresh coach is the stage, redoing what's on the stage, some curtains, and I can't remember what else. I know it's the curtains and the wood on the stage, redoing that. I can check, I'll check.
Going down, those coming from up the top, going down into the auditorium, we have no balance. In other words, the older people, if they stumble,
I got you.
you know, they roll all the way down, they have no balance on either side.
I know it, I don't think we included that. That's something we'll have to do in-house, so we can get that. I didn't think about that. Man, that, the total cost, you approved the cost, y'all approved that last year. It's $567,000 for the auditorium refresh. For the ROTC building and locker rooms is 1.2 million, and the RCEC renovation is 2.1 million.
And it's including those buildings, those temporary?
No, we have to get that out of the, we're checking to see if we can get that out of the bond funds that we had left over.
Okay.
Do we have any other questions?
I got one more question.
Yes, sir.
I don't know, how we would go with this. We got the, archive money, historic for bond. Is there any way that we can apply for a renovation bond, from Grove Street for the cost of the?
Yeah. I don't know, then you on the board, don't you?
Yeah, no, I'm on board. I talked with the director of Archives and History. It's not a Mississippi landmark.
Okay.
Grove Street's not. But they said it could be on the registry for the national, but if we need to do renovations, I sent that back over to, Dr. Holloway gave me it was going to be window replacements, if that's what you're talking about.
Right.
I sent that back over to the director, and she said she was going to check to see if that's going to be required for anything. I don't know if it's a grant though, Coach. I think it's more of just what you have to do to meet their standards.
Okay.
If you replace them.
Thanks. Thank you.
Any other questions? Is there a motion to approve C1
Okay, I would like to
with
make okay.
pending the approval of the attorney?
Yes.
I make a motion, we approve C1 with the approval, once it has been reviewed and approved by the attorney.
There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. D1 is personnel recommendations, separation, and supplemental duties. have anyone who needs to remove themselves? No? Okay. What is the pleasure? Do you have any questions?
I got a question on any,
Ms. Hughes, is this the young man, young lady, that we approved at the last board meeting? In finance? The person that you wanted?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you're full staff now?
No, sir, I'm not. So I've had two to resign in the last 2 weeks.
Wow. Thank you.
You got that list, Jim?
on the, resignation, separation,
Yes, sir.
all ones that, if they don't hurt us anyway, as far as teaching slots, or signing contracts. And we just, because it's a Tennessee fit that, hey, let them go because they're obligated,
Yes, sir.
if they've signed the contract.
We, none of these did, Coach. They were, because they were for medical reasons. We do have some others to talk about later on. Yes, sir.
Do we have any other questions? What is the pleasure?
I make a motion, we approve D1.
Second.
Moved and properly second. Are you ready to vote? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved.
Do we have anything for executive?
Yeah, we got closed session.
Okay,
We got to go into closed session.
all right.
There a motion?
I make a motion, we go into closed session to determine the agenda for executive session.
Second.
Moved and properly second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion is approved. Thank you.
Yeah, you can talk about that.